You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode 130. Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets. What's up, coaches? In this episode, we're going to talk about how to feel unstoppable. This is the most powerful feeling that you can experience. And by the end of this episode, my goal is to support you in feeling more unstoppable than ever before. I want you to think right now on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being you feel totally unstoppable, nothing can get in your way, and you're acting in accordance with that, and 1 being you feel completely stuck and debilitated when it comes to your goals. Where are you on that scale right now? By the end of this episode, let's see how we can bump that score up so that way you can pursue your goals and dreams with a higher level of unstoppability. I don't know if that is a word, but we're going to go with it for this episode. A quick update. It is so good to be back in the recording studio with fresh content for you all. I have recently returned from 5 consecutive trips, and I think the highlight of all these trips was having our very first Thriving Coach Academy retreat in person in San Diego, California. We had many of our coaches, some of them were students, some of them are graduates, fly out to California. We had an amazing weekend. I still have so many flashbacks of the fun experiences we all shared together. And it was a beautiful, beautiful moment to be able to go from seeing these incredible faces on screen in the virtual classroom over the years to then see them all in person in the flesh and see our coaches interact with one another. So it really felt like everyone came together, formed an even deeper sense of community, and we certainly hope to be having more retreats in the future. But I have to say, I am bursting at the seams with podcast material. So if you're not already subscribed to the podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I've got a lot of episodes that are in store for you over the next couple of months. And I'm especially excited for this one on how to feel more unstoppable. I want you to think about a goal or an incomplete dream in your life right now. Some kind of goal that maybe you feel a bit overwhelmed by, or you're doubtful you'll have success in this goal, or maybe at times you feel stuck. Take a moment and think of that goal right now. Now, one of the best ways for you to move forward in life when you're feeling stuck is by tapping into the feeling of unstoppability. Now, some people might not resonate with the term unstoppable. So a couple of other words you might consider instead is the word invincible. Invincible, feeling like you are incapable of being defeated or overcome. Or maybe the word unshakable, which means that you feel so determined nothing can get in your way. So whether it is unstoppable or invincible or unshakable, I want you to, as we go through this episode, see how you can connect to that feeling. So I want to start by sharing, for me, times in my life when I've felt unstoppable. Because one of the keys to feeling unstoppable in any given moment is by remembering the previous times in your life when you've felt unstoppable. So whenever I get stuck, there are 2 memories that come to my mind. One memory of mine that brings up unstoppable energy is the day that I was ranked in high school. So if you don't know what that means, in some high schools, when you approach senior year, you are ranked based off of your GPA, and this is often a big criteria that determines what college or university you get into. I'm not sure how much ranking is done nowadays, but when I was in high school, it was a pretty big deal. So I had about 400 students in my graduating class, And from freshman year all the way to senior year, it was my goal to rank at the top of my class. I wanted to be in the top 10. And it was the beginning of senior year. There was one morning where I was coming in from band. I was outside doing marching band practice because I was a major clarinet geek in high school. So I was coming back in and they had started the morning announcements and they began to announce the top 10 students of the year for the graduating class of seniors. And I was listening and hearing the names being called out. And then suddenly I heard my name and I was invited to go into the principal's office with the other students in the top 10. And they had a celebratory breakfast for us where we were all congratulated for making it into the top 10 of our graduating class. So then they started reading out all the rankings, starting from 10 all the way to number 1. And for number 10, they said the name Frank, and I thought it was me, but it was actually another guy named Frank who was also in the top 10. And then they continued on with their student ranked number 9, number 8, number 7. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? I just wanted to be in the top 10. I wasn't expecting to be ranked so highly. And then when they got to number 5, they said my name. And I was told that I was ranked 5th out of the 401 students in the class. And in that moment, I felt truly unstoppable. You know, I had dealt with a lot of insecurity and self-doubt in my middle school and high school years. I had dealt with some bullying and I struggled at fitting in socially. I didn't have a lot of friends. So to have such a high level of achievement and recognition felt amazing. I really felt like I could take on the world. So whenever I get stuck in my life today or I get discouraged or doubt myself, I remember that exact moment that I was sitting in the principal's office told that I had ranked 5th in the entire class. Another time in my life when I felt unstoppable was when I went to the Great Wall of China. And the reason why this was such a special moment for me is because going to China, living there, was a very big decision in my life. Once I graduated college, I had the option to work a very comfortable 9-to-5 corporate job and stay in the United States. But then I also had the opportunity to go live in China and work as an English teacher and be completely on my own, not having any friends or family out there, being in an entirely new culture, new continent, and surviving on my own. So after living in China for an entire year, I wanted to celebrate the year by going up to Beijing, exploring Beijing, and then finishing my first year in China, going to the Great Wall. And I remember when I was on the Great Wall, the tour group that I had gone with went to a more remote part of the wall, so it was not touristy. There were not big crowds of people. In fact, there were some parts of the wall where I was standing on it and I could look to the left and the right, and I would see nobody. I felt like I was the only person on the Great Wall of China. It was such an incredible experience. So to be walking on this incredible, iconic landmark that we have on this planet, one of the world wonders, and to feel such a sense of calmness and peace and accomplishment, knowing that I had been able to live in China on my own for a year and I thrived during that time in China, that was a moment where I felt really unstoppable. And whenever I get stuck or whenever I'm discouraged or doubt myself in my life today, I bring myself back to one of those two moments I just shared with you, because those are the experiences that I felt most unstoppable. Now for you, I want you to start thinking, when were there times in your life when you felt unstoppable? When was there a moment? Now, your brain might initially say, I don't know, or I don't think it's ever happened. But I promise you, if you pause and reflect for just a few moments, something will surface. So when was there a time? Think of the specific moment when you felt unstoppable. So don't just think of a chapter of your life. I want you to think of the specific moment. For me, the moment was coming in from band class and hearing my name on the morning announcements. It was walking on around the Great Wall of China and basking in that experience. So what was the exact moment for you when you felt unstoppable. Now, I'm going to share with you some other examples of times in people's lives where they often might feel unstoppable, invincible, or unshakable. Number one is the moment that you achieved a goal. So maybe there was a long-term goal related to your career, your education, your fitness, your overall personal development. You achieved the goal, and in that moment, you felt so accomplished and invincible. Another example could be a time that you overcame adversity. So maybe you were able to overcome a challenge and you emerged from that stronger. You felt more resilient after that. Maybe that's a time you felt unstoppable. Perhaps it could be when you've had professional success. Maybe you landed a dream job or an exciting new career opportunity, or you earned a promotion, or you were just recognized for your work and you felt a very powerful sense of invincibility in that moment. Perhaps it was achieving a milestone with your physical fitness. So maybe you ran a marathon, or you achieved a certain level of strength, or you were able to finish a challenging workout. Those could be moments where you had feelings of an unstoppability. Perhaps it was entrepreneurial success. So if you've been running a business, maybe it was the moment you launched your business, or a particular challenge you overcame in your business, or just a moment where you were able to really witness the fruits of your labor. That could have been a time when you felt unstoppable. Maybe you had an amazing speaking opportunity where you had to give a presentation or deliver a keynote, or you were involved with some kind of public speaking engagement. A lot can go into that, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. So maybe there was a moment where you finished the presentation, maybe you received some kind of recognition or applause, or you just felt so confident after leaving the stage. It could also be a time when you did something very courageous. So you really went out of your comfort zone. You confronted your own fears. Maybe you stood up for yourself and your values, or you had a difficult conversation. These could have been moments where you felt invincible. And any kind of recognition that you achieved. So maybe you were recognized for a contribution you made, or you received an award, or you were acknowledged by a peer or a mentor, and you got this boost of confidence. That could have been a moment in your life where you had unstoppable energy. And finally, it could be moments of your own creative expression. So perhaps a time when you created something meaningful, whether it be writing or painting or composing music. Really, any form of artistic expression could be very empowering and cause you to also have that unstoppable energy. So again, think about a time, a specific moment when you felt unstoppable. So hopefully by now you have something that's coming to mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that experience and we're going to amplify it. So now that you have this memory in mind, I want you to think about what you were doing at that exact moment that you felt unstoppable. Start to picture it so vividly in your brain. What made that experience so empowering for you? Okay, I want you to think about as well as you start to focus on that exact memory. Where do you feel unstoppable energy in your body? Where do you feel it in your body? Maybe you feel it in your heart or somewhere around your chest. Maybe you feel it in your gut. Maybe you feel it tingling in your fingers. What does unstoppable energy feel like in your body? And see if you can start to create that right now. I want you to think next, what does unstoppable energy look like if you were to get in a pose, like if you were to adjust your body and get in a particular pose, what pose would that be? Now, if you're able to get in that pose right now, like if you're not driving, then I invite you to do it. Get in your unstoppable pose right now. If you're not able to right now, I want you to picture yourself standing in that pose. Okay, what does it look like for you to show up with unstoppable presence? How are you positioning your body? I want you to also think about who are the people in your life who support you in feeling unstoppable. Okay, who are the people in your life that support you in feeling like you can achieve anything, like anything's possible, nothing can get in your way. You are a force to be reckoned with. Who are those individuals in your life? And I want you to bring those individuals' energy towards you. Imagine like their energy is creating this beautiful bubble around you, and you're able to bask in all that energy. Now, I want you to think about a goal that you have in your life right now. Perhaps it was the one that you were thinking of earlier in this episode. Some kind of goal where you're feeling a little bit stuck or challenged or doubting yourself. A dream that you have that's incomplete. Maybe you haven't yet taken the leap into getting started with that dream because you felt stuck, overwhelmed, or just scared. Now, I want you to think about what it looks like to approach that goal or dream with all of this unstoppable energy that you have surging through your body right now. Picture what it looks like for you to approach this knowing that you are unstoppable. Nothing can get in your way, because all of the experience, all the energy that you are connecting to and harnessing right now, all of that is real. And all of that can be channeled into your current goals to get you to achieve them and move your life forward. Now, I want to leave you with some songs that can also enhance your unstoppable energy, because whenever you have a big goal or dream, it is, again, the most important feeling to have. You want to see how you can surround yourself with people that inspire you to feel unstoppable, with thoughts that allow you to feel unstoppable, with memories that remind you that you're unstoppable. And I think songs are also fun too. So as I go through some of these songs, I want you to think about this. I'm sure you'll know at least a few of them. And if you don't know any of them, then go look them up and listen to them. And I want you to imagine the energy you feel when you have these songs, because sometimes just listening to one of these songs can really shift your entire being. One song is Unstoppable. The song is actually called Unstoppable by Sia. I love that song. Another one is I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. The song Fighter by Christina Aguilera. The song Roar by Katy Perry. Now, funny story about this one. I actually taught my students in China when I was living out there teaching English. I taught them this song because there is a really cool lyric music video where it shows all the lyrics on screen. And it's a great way for students to understand the words and also to have a fun learning experience. So Roar is a very empowering song by Katy Perry. Another one is Survivor by Destiny's Child. Top of the World by Imagine Dragons. Eye of the Tiger. I'm Still Standing by Elton John. Stronger by Kelly Clarkson. And Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. So you've got all these unstoppable songs for you to fill yourself up with unstoppable energy. Whatever goals or dreams you have right now, I want you to think, when I feel unstoppable, what does that inspire me to do? Because you are unstoppable. Once you connect to that feeling, you recognize your true power. So I want you to bask in all of the unstoppable energy you're feeling right now and see what it opens up for you. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Before you go, I'm going to include a really exciting clip at the end of this. It's a montage that shares an actual clip from inside our virtual classroom where some of our students share a bit of their insights. So enjoy this little insight and inside peek into our classroom, and I will see you in the next episode.
I've never been in a situation, either sort of a learning environment or potentially work, where information is passed on with such clarity. It just makes it really easy to absorb and understand. And this program really is set up to get everything across in the best way.
Just a sense of community just from one session is just amazing, and I truly appreciate everyone and the sharing and the information. So thank you.
I can acknowledge that just everyone's openness and positivity and willingness to put things out there was so fabulous.
The caliber of thinking is really remarkable. It's so clearly laid out that I think that what's amazing is that things don't have to be so hard. That's like a big takeaway for me today that I was a little afraid about going in. Like, is it going to be overwhelming and like really hard? No, it's not. That's so exciting.
I wanted to double down on the simplicity and succinctness of each of the topics. but they were also comprehensive. When we did have questions, there was a lot of enthusiasm meeting those, and there was nothing but positivity with it.
This weekend has been amazing. I really enjoyed meeting everybody. Thank you for bringing like a bunch of great people together too. I like the community.
When I was looking at the programs, you get access to our teachers and our mentors for 6 months after you graduate, 18 months after you graduate, and you're stuck with us for life until you tell us to go away. And that's really meaningful to me. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate it even more now that I've met everyone. And I'm just really looking forward to continue to interact with everybody.
At the end of this weekend now, I do feel like I am a coach. Definitely a transforming experience.
I've done a similar training on every part of the spectrum. This is like notches above in how close I feel to everyone and how supported I feel and how much the curriculum meshes together.
Thank you so much, Frank. I really enjoy your talking style and teaching style. Thank you all, and I love you all.
Thank you all. I know that you're learning to be a coach, not just to transform your life, but to transform the lives of other people. And I really believe that we do need coaches now more than ever.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.